We're getting ready to drop the body on this JL. As you can see, we got our plumb bobs in place. And yes, I do have the Elder Wand. My wife gave this to me and requires me to use it. Let's take a look at a couple of things. First, let's look at the engine. It's got all of its wiring installed. This is our transmission connector. This is our O2 sensor connector, and I think you can see how simple this is here. Coming around the front, you notice that we have full-size exhaust manifolds, unlike the Pentastar full-size hydraulic engine mount. These are our easy mounts, unmodified. Plenty of room for our steering shaft. I'm happy to see that Chrysler is heat protecting all the wiring and hoses and lines now. Coming around the front, it's just as clean and simple. Let's come around the back here. We've removed the fender well so we can take a look at the evap canister. So basically these hoses, just let me get some light on this. This is your purge and your vent for the evap. Now it comes back here and it goes into what appears to be an ESIM. That's an evap system integrity monitor. There's a switch, as you can tell by this 2-pin connector. Now I'm not sure if this went to a vent solenoid or if they're still just using a discrete switch to detect leaks, and my guess is that's what they're doing. They're using a similar ESIM to the JK. But now that they do have a fuel tank pressure sensor, they can much more accurately control fuel tank pressure. So basically it's the same old, just a different canister in a different place. We're probably going to end up upgrading this. In fact, I know we're going to end up upgrading this by putting a vent solenoid right there so that it can be controlled properly by the engine control module for not only excessive pressure but excessive vacuum. Everything else here is just going to simply go right back where it was. We are going to end up using the Jeep fuel pump control module with the GM engine, and we'll come back when this body starts to go down. Quick little update, we dropped the body. It was very easy. Actually, this thing looks like it was meant to be in there. We look at our clearances, we got plenty of room on this side, we got plenty of room on this side. Now we've made no adjustments at this point. We just literally dropped the body with the engine right in the middle of our mounts. There are only 2 interferences that we have identified, and one is this plastic valve cover is barely touching the firewall, which I'm not sure if we're going to trim that or move the engine forward a little. I like to run these engines as far back as we can. That is just a cosmetic trim cover, so I'm not too concerned about it. Other than that, everything laid out really nice. We're going to do a little more test fitting here, and then we're going to probably pull the body off one more time just to finalize a few things underneath, and we'll come back and show you that. So I threw the radiator in just to take a quick look. Look how much room we have here. It's a massive amount of room. We can run pretty much any radiator and fan we want. We can also opt to move this engine forward if we want to, but I'm a big believer in leaving these engines as far back as we can get them for weight balance, as well as running them as low as we can. So really this thing is pretty much laying out about in the optimal location right where it's at. And it also looks awesome in this engine compartment with this LT1 intake. So it looks like this LT fit in the JL is about as good as it can be. No modifications at all to the body, chassis, frame, or engine, and it's a bolt-in. So we'll be back in the next video, probably show you when the body is permanently on, start hooking stuff up.